Welcome to Unity Church of San Marcos, and I'm glad you're here with us on this Palm Sunday service. We have a wonderful guest speaker, Linda Gillespie, our licensed Unity teacher, will be sharing a beautiful message with us. And what is that title today?
Preparing the way.
Preparing the way. And so we do. So Linda, if you'll come forward and share with us your message this morning.
Oh, look. They're twins. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is with deep love and great respect that I welcome you here this morning. Thank you all for being here. This is wonderful. This is one of the greatest joys I have in each month. Thank you, Paula. It just feeds my soul. It's spring. Can you tell by the ick? The allergies and all that fun stuff. And this time of the year, it's the time of rebirth and new beginnings. Nature is showing us all how we can bloom where we're planted just simply by being. Doing what comes naturally, whatever we've been called to do. I like in particular something that Joan Borysenko says in Pocketful of Miracles. She says that April is the month of freedom and redemption of innocence. The holy days of Passover and Easter are about being made new, being born again out of the slavery of the ego into the spaciousness of divine mind. Kind of like moving out of self-imposed prison into the freedom of divine mind. And today, of course, is Palm Sunday. And everybody has a palm branch. Everybody's got one. We're going to talk more about that later. Do you have one, Peggy?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
And it's the last Sunday, of course, before Easter. And if we were following the liturgical calendar, after next Sunday, we could let go of all of those restrictions, the things that we've been denying ourselves of for Lent. And then get back to life as it was before Lent. However, thanks to Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, we see Lent from a different perspective. Charles believed that Lent was an opportunity to release all negativity, all those things that no longer are serving us spiritually. And we, being human, probably need more than 40 days to let go of all that stuff. I know that I do. 40 days is not enough. And we'll talk more about that a little later. And from that, Charles believed that Lent should be practiced year-round because we are human. And we all need a little more time because things come up as we go along. And I agree with Charles for that very reason. They come up on a daily basis. Things that I need to let go of in order to be who I truly am. And the things that I need to release, most of it is really old stuff. But it gets triggered and it comes back up from time to time. But I have changed. And those things no longer serve my highest good. They've served me well. And I'm grateful for them because I wouldn't be here today without them. But they're no longer effective on my path, on this spiritual journey path. And I'd like to share with you from our Lenten booklet, 40 Days of Letting Go. It's written by Reverend Kurt Condra, and I really, really appreciate what he has to say. And it's called Preparing the Way. Imagine that. Greeted by adoring throngs, spreading cloaks and branches before him, Jesus must have understood the crowd's jubilation was fleeting. He knew that he would not be able to, was not going to fulfill their expectation that Rome would be defeated. He knew his purpose was greater, to reveal that God's kingdom transcends all earthly reality, even death. Like palm fronds thrown before Jesus on the road, each time we release a limiting belief, pattern, or behavior, we pave the way for the divine to enter our consciousness and free spirit to work in our lives. But here's the thing. Raising consciousness is an evolutionary process. Releasing negativity is not one and done. As long as we're traveling this material plane, the world will provide fronds to lay before truth. The good news? Each branch we cast brings us into more perfect alignment with the divine, and we grow in love and compassion for ourselves and for others. And from Galatians 6:1, my friends, if anyone is detected in a transgression, you who have received the Spirit should restore such a one in a spirit of gentleness. Take care that you yourselves are not tempted. And the affirmation that goes with that is, I pave the way for truth by letting go of limiting thoughts. So how do we do that? How do we do that? I think one of the most important aspects of what Reverend Condra had to say to remind me of the importance of letting go, and that it does not end next Sunday. It does not end. And for me, I don't know that it will ever end. There's a movie, it was released in 1986 and won lots of awards at the Cannes Film Festival in 1986. It's called The Mission. And it is an example for me, or there's a scene in this that is such a profound example of what happens when we hold on to things that don't serve us, that are just weighting us down. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but for me, it's wonderful. It's about a priest, Father Gabriel, in South America, bringing God to the indigenous people. And there's a tribe that he feels he needs to get to, but he doesn't know how to get there. And there is a man named Mendoza who was a slave trader. And he became a Jesuit priest. And somewhere in all of this, he murders his brother because his brother stole his fiancée. So Mendoza is in prison, and Father Gabriel goes to the magistrate and secures Mendoza's release because Mendoza knows how to get there because he's done slave trade with those folks. And at first, Mendoza refuses to leave prison because he killed his brother. And he feels like that's where he belongs. And after a while, he finally agrees to go with Father Gabriel to show him the way. But he goes under his own terms. And the first thing he does is get this enormous fishing net. Now this was in 1750. And those nets, commercial fishing nets. And he stuffs this net with everything that he can find to put in it, including a suit of armor. And once it is full, he straps it to his body. And this is the way he goes through the jungle. This is his penance for the murder of his brother. And if you can just envision moving through a thick forest in the Amazon. I was sitting there just riveted, wanting so desperately for him to cut loose of that fish net so that he could at least move through the forest. And then they cross a river, and he gets caught in a very fast current and almost drowns. And I got so emotionally involved in it, I could feel what he was feeling. And I love the movie. The whole thing is wonderfully done. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest it. Later, in trying to figure this all out for myself, I realized that Mendoza was representing me. And that fish net was all the garbage that I had been carrying that no longer served me. So at that point, I began to unpack my fish net and let go of those things that I had been carrying for years on end that was my own self-punishment because I didn't need those things anymore. And I let go of all those limitations in order to be free, to experience all that Spirit had for me. In John 10:10, Jesus tells us, I am come that they might have life and that they might have it abundantly. I believe that is what each of us is seeking, an abundant life. Reverend Condra makes it clear when he says, raising consciousness is an evolutionary process. It is a process. Releasing negativity is not a one and done. As long as we are traveling this material plane, the world will provide us with palm fronds to lay before truth, capital T truth. Every day we face situations that trigger us, and we have a knee-jerk reaction to that situation. And those knee-jerk reactions create those fronds for us to release, to lay before truth. If we give ourselves a moment to step back from those situations rather than having a knee-jerk reaction, and we can respond rather than react, it makes everything go so much smoother and so much easier. I see that as grace. But we have to step back and take a look at how we really want to be in this world, how we really want to react to these things. The truth is that we always have a choice. This little Lenten booklet, Paula's is here and mine is here, and I have worn this little thing out. It's been lots of places with me, and it's called the 40 Days of Letting Go, but for me it will be the 40 days. It will be the days of letting go. I'm taking the 40 out because I intend to use this often, if not on a daily basis, because there are so many aspects. And I think all of you have a copy of this. It was in that packet that I brought to you from Unity of New Braunfels. I will use it when I get triggered by something that I need to release. Probably something that I have released before, because it is an evolutionary process. This little booklet will go into my self-care toolkit, because this is how I take care of, one of the ways that I take care of myself, by letting go of those things that no longer serve me. I am really grateful to the contributors in this booklet for their input. They all speak to a different subject, and their words make it easy to be compassionate with myself. It's like Ram Dass said, we are just walking each other home. We're just walking each other home. And he's talking about coming home inside of ourselves. He was talking about finding our wholeness, knowing who we are at the deepest and most profound levels of our being, and building our lives upon that foundation. That's the abundant life that Jesus was talking about in John 10:10. That is where our foundation needs to be. The path home is covered with palm fronds that we all have tossed there, for they are no longer a necessary aspect of our daily lives. That is the rebirth we experience when we give ourselves to truth, to the truth of our being, that capital T truth. And as we approach and go through this Holy Week, remembering the events that Jesus experienced and celebrating with shouts of hallelujah for being shown by his example that we are here to be an individualized expression of God in the world. To do the work of bringing forth the kingdom of heaven on earth by bringing the divine qualities of life, love, wisdom, power, and substance. We demonstrate truth right here where we are. Our work is not complete. it is not complete until we have done our part to make manifest the glory of God for the benefit of all creation. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ready to unpack that fishing net filled with junk that no longer serves you? Because remember, when we do one thing for ourselves, we do it for everyone. Those fronds that we throw at the feet of truth, we do not only for ourselves, but for everyone. That path is littered with fronds that other people have thrown, as well as ourselves. So I invite you to take your fronds this week and as a remembrance of what they represent. And think about what you're ready to release that you've been holding on to. I'm a very visual person, and I love things like this as a reminder of what I need to do. So let's spread those palm fronds on the path that we are walking each other home on. Namaste. And would you grace us with your music, please, India?
Absolutely. This is a song called I Will Make a Quiet Place, and it is by Reverend Michael Gott. I will make a quiet place, a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place, a quiet place within my mind, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still and know I will make a quiet place within my life, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still and know I will make a quiet place, I will make a quiet place.
Thank you, India. That is perfect as we prepare for meditation. And I think we have created that quiet place in which to do our meditation. So I invite you to breathe into this now moment, clearing your mind of the clutter of the to-dos and the what-ifs. we breathe into that sacred place deep within and close the door. That secret place of the Most High where we can let it all go to experience the love, the peace, the comfort, the welcome, the joy of His presence. In this place, there is nothing to do. There's nothing to say. Just be. And listen. Listen for that small, still voice of God. If you don't hear anything, don't be concerned. Not in this moment. No worries. Just continue to be aware of God's presence throughout the remainder of the day. You may get that small, still voice at a very unexpected time. Or you may experience it as the voice of love as you sleep. It may come to you in a dream. As you continue to breathe deeply, if anything comes up for you that needs to be released, lay it before truth now, like a palm frond. And now I invite you to bring your presence back into this time and space. You may want to wiggle your toes or fingers, roll your head, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Happy Easter.
Thank you, Linda, for sharing this message with us, for preparing the way. And thank you, Linda. India.
Hi.
India Taylor. Thank you for your precious music and sharing with us. All right. So we end this service with Unity Church of San Marcos, and thank you for being with us. If you receive something on this beautiful Palm Sunday, we pray that you feel so led to share of your good with us. God bless you.